this is kind of almost exactly like long rest time. I think it's 6 hours or so. But you basically would have just completed that long rest. Um,
Okay.
you feel, uh, and you're very much like the most attuned to the world around you out of everybody. Um, like out of all of your friends, you're the person who's most quick to kind of sense when something's changing, um, the most perceptive for sure. Um, I think you kind of sense a presence that isn't threatening in any way, kind of moving towards you just before it like wakes you up. Like your body kind of kicks in a little
And
bit
am I
first.
feeling this in a physical space that I can see?
Yeah, the presence is in like a physical space. Like you feel something physically moving towards you, not in a threatening way, and it feels
Yeah.
comfortable.
And what are my surroundings?
So you were basically in the kind of the heart of Chips's power. You kind of waved to Chips and passed out pretty much
Okay.
as you
So I'm
got
in the
back.
sewers still.
Hmm.
Okay. I instinctively try to back away. I don't know if I physically can, but I am putting in effort to put distance between myself and the spirit.
Uh,
Backpedaling, if I could.
quietly, roll an insight check on this actually. So I want to see if what you kind of get about this voice.
Hmm. A 14.
14. Okay.
Yes.
Um, for reasons you will very quickly recognize, um, it's hard to make out like 100% the vibe that you're getting, but like you get the impression that the voice is not trying to wake up the people around. You just hear a, I know, Raz. What about you back in away?
Chip, is that you?
Are you quietly?
Okay. Um, I'm assuming he's telling me to follow him. Yeah. So, sorry, I'm assuming they are telling me to follow them. So I am going in their direction,
So
and what's happening?
um, you see uh, Chips. I think like a 14 again. It's really really hard to get a read on Chips, but you do have quite a high passive kind of insight. So you get bits of this, and obviously you're close to
And
Chips.
I can I do a quick investigation?
An investigation check.
Yeah, to try and see what Chips's mood is like.
So that would be insight. So you can do an insight
Insight.
check
And
if you
then
want to do an insight into this. I'll let you.
can I
You
do an
can.
insight check onto Chips specifically? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it's +3. It's not bad.
Come on. 13. Mid rolls today, man. Mid rolls.
Mm. I need to talk to you guys about adversity tokens. That's something I want to put in my games as well.
No, come on, man.
But
We're
we
trying
need
to
to
make
have
our lives.
everyone. No, no. Adversity tokens are basically if you fail a roll, you get a token, and then you can add them to a roll to like auto
Oh,
succeed.
that's nicer. Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's it's like a
I'm much.
strict bonus, so that like it only work. It doesn't work in combat. It just
I
works for
heard the
like
word
story rolls.
adversity, and
It's basically if I fuck you over, you get a little well done. Next time you can do
hell
better.
yeah.
Um,
That sounds like a bad precedent to set, but I'm into it.
well,
Yeah.
it's more like if you're fucking up constantly, it means that you can at least kind of pay to win for one or two roles that you think are like significant to the story.
No
Uh,
pain, no gain. Yeah.
so you're not getting a lot, but you are kind of getting a different vibe, I think, from Chips normally. Maybe it's kind of like a little bit less confidence, maybe, but it's hard to make it out. Um, uh, but I do think that. with your passive perception, you notice that Chip smells slightly better today.
Mm.
Like Chips very much has a similar scent to you, in that it almost has its own
Yeah.
like personality, postcode.
I
Just like
give Chips a side eye and I say, "What are you getting all tarted up for? Is it Doris?"
That's an inside check. For sure. This is all the insight checks.
Oh, here we
I
go.
didn't expect this to be what it was going to be, but it is. A 19. There are hints of Doris love from Cheers.
Okay.
um, you're struggling to work out whether it's romantic love, but there's definitely some affection for Doris coming out from Chips.
Yeah.
There's a little
Yeah.
pause when you mention Doris' name. Um, Chips kind of rambles a bit and then
I look at Chips and I pat the facsimile of a shoulder that they've got going on with their weird little deity self that's made up of scarves, and I say, "I'm glad to see you getting out there."
Chips doesn't say anything for a little while, but then kind of ducks into a room. You've been walking for probably like a good amount of time, but more importantly, roll a nature check for me.
Sure.
I love how often I get you to roll nature checks, and it's like a skill that you're not even proficient in.
I'm not good at all. I feel like I should be though. What the fuck?
You didn't choose a proficiency in nature. Otherwise, you'd be getting like +5 to the roll. Um, it's hard for you.
Okay,
You're
so
kind of not really concentrating on it, but you're pulled into a room by Chips. Um, and you see Chips kind of put an arm onto your shoulder and look at you. And dealing with Chips is like talking to a woman in a burqa. Like all you can kind of get is eyes.
yeah. Are they expressive eyes?
Not normally. Normally
Hmm.
hard to get a read on Chips at the best of times. Even if all that you can see are eyes, there's a certain lack of kind of movement around that kind of like little bit of skin there where you can kind of see
Mm.
that tension and kind of like
I'm very
there's
familiar.
wrinkles
Yeah.
there of like this is someone who's lived a life,
Mm.
but there's not like okay, I can see that there's like something there.
Mm.
Quite like stone faced to it. And then you hear a voice in your head. And it's unmistakably Chips. Except for one weird thing. You can kind of understand everything that Chips is saying.
What? That's not normal.
Listen, son. That's what you are, mate. I've been ever since you got here. Beggar King knew you were destined for greatness. Not just because of who you are, because of what you are.
Chips? I'm sorry. Where is this coming from? What do you mean?
Um,
What do you mean? No, it was not just who you are, but also
what?
what you are.
And for the
What does
first
that mean?
and for the first time, you see Chips pull scarves down, and you see Chips's face. Um,
What do I see?
You see a like a deep kind of walnutty kind of brown skin. Uh, it's so like you can't put a finger on like where they would be from. Like it could be kind of like maybe like Greek or something, maybe but maybe like kind of towards like the Middle East or just kind of European. It's really hard to like pin down where it's kind of that like generally from it could have been a whole host of different places. That kind of like slightly olive sort of skin, and you probably guess to be about kind of middle aged, um, completely hairless, very difficult to kind of pin down. Like you don't get low enough to see kind of like an Adam's apple or anything. Very kind of like neutral kind of face, like could be like a manly woman or like a feminine looking guy. You know what I mean? Like there's not enough
The
of a like,
true androgyne.
yeah, very much of
Yeah.
a sort of androgynous
So there's a
face.
very weathered look to this face.
Absolutely.
Are you guys done or still going?
Still going?
Alright, sorry. Okay,
I mean,
just
you're
ping me when
welcome
you're
to
done.
listen. If Salem's happy for you to listen in, you're welcome to listen in.
Yeah. Well, you do. Wait a minute. Does Johnny see? No, he's not. I mean, he's not there, is he?
He's not there.
This is a dream sequence. Yeah.
I want to be surprised.
Okay.
I wanna be
If you
surprised.
jump off for a minute, and then I'll drop you a line.
Alright.
So you have this kind of vision of Chips for the first time, I think, and it's that feeling of like Chips has become that kind of like very hesitant to say sort of parental figure, but definitely like that kind of like rock, that has been like a big part of
No,
like your
Chips
life.
is my all-in-one parent. Yes, I am not ashamed to admit it.
Basically you've kind of been looked after and watched over, and like yes, you owe like a duty to Chips, but Chips has never really made you do anything that you wouldn't already have kind of wanted to do. And it's very much done a lot for you in terms of saving you from doing some shit, like getting your back for you, giving you a place to stay, like a shelter, and teaching you kind of the ways to be a druid of the city, or not so much a druid of the city, but a chosen of the Beggar King and connected to the city.
I owe the shitstone I am today to Chips's tutelage and upbringing.
I want you to just roll an insight check on yourself.
Oh, damn. Wait a minute. This isn't what I think it is. Oh shit! I was so close to a 20. Damn! I got shit on. I got a 5.
I feel like it is your insight checking yourself. Surely this is the chance to be advantage.
I know nothing about myself. I am
like
all surface here.
In this one area, surely you are an expert. You can roll an advantage.
Watch it come back as a 1. A 12. I'm telling you, mid rolls today.
You're just a bit. I think you're a bit too on edge with what's just happened to really kind of check yourself.
Can I meditate?
What are you planning to do? You tell me what you want to do here.
Okay. So because I'm so frazzled, am I still awake? Am I asleep? Am I still talking to Chips? What position am I in right now? Because I'd like to tell you exactly what I'm going to do, but I don't know if I can do it while I'm in my current.
That is a good question. Roll a perception check with advantage. I think that's probably what I
Okay.
need to see. See if this is like shook you enough to kind of disturb your understanding or not. Okay.
24.
Probably not.
The dice come through.
You notice for the first time that you can almost kind of see the brickwork behind Chips through through Chips, and I think you can also sort of get the vibe of how's the best way to put this? You don't feel like your body is present at the moment, in a way.
Am I astral projecting?
That would probably be the closest. But I do want another quick. Oh no, with a 24. Um, oh,
Sorry,
that's all right.
I think I've got really shit Wi-Fi right now.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It's a 24 perception. So
What can I see? What do my elf eyes see?
I think you see that, like, you are. Imagine going to an aquarium and you're walking through like the one of those like tunnels or places where the fish are like really close, like all around
I
you,
love those. Yeah, like
like
Brighton
kind of
Sea Aquarium.
surrounding you, but on the other side of the glass.
Yes.
I think for the first time, kind of look and you're like, you feel the presence of another realm kind of coating this one like glass. And I think for a moment, you see through to the other side of that glass. And you see that this place is piled up with the kind of aura of the Beggar King, the aura of the forgotten, the aura of the left behind. And you see so much kind of like pain and joy and love and hope and the bones beyond count of people that kind of weren't offered a hand in time. And I think you, as you're kind of looking into this otherness, I think it kind of really comes close to you that you're seeing almost this world, this world that you are in, this world below another world, for what it really is, for how it really should appear. It's almost like, you know, that fuzziness in your sort of like seeing in the morning, and then you blink it away, and then it gets really clear.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You got a second sight. That's because of what you are. That's what got you down
Chip,
here.
Chips, what are you trying to tell me right now? Do you know something?
Plenty of people that has come to the world below. Ain't many people lucky enough to fall through something and suddenly appear here. Gotta know what you're looking for. Gotta be told the right ways to go, Ras. You coming here weren't no accident. There's a reason why I introduced you to Sammy.
This is bad. I've forgotten my my backstory.
Sammy is the guy who takes you to meet your sister, the
Yeah.
goblin shaman.
the goblin shaman. And the reason my sister's in a coma is because she was attacked by some type of creature. And I don't remember if I wrote anything else that I've forgotten now.
You did fall through a manhole cover.
Through a manhole cover.
And that was
But
how.
so you're saying it happened deliberately, and I was led here because there's some part of me that is actually a part of the underworld. Which
Roll an insight check on yourself. This is what we're doing. I'm convinced you can do this.
23.
Mate.
Tell me who I am!
Mate, my man comes through when he needs to.
Nice giver.
Roll like shit 99%. roll like a king the other
1%.
one.
1%. Yeah.
When it counts, it counts. You
Who am I?
you never seen Chips go to the spirit realm. You don't know anyone apart from your sister and Sammy who goes from the real world to the spirit realm. Like, you know, Sammy's a shaman, so there must be other people who do it, right? But like, you've never seen anyone else, and I think you kind of get that memory of like opening that manhole cover, and there shouldn't have been a tunnel there to jump through, but there was. Like, you saw the tunnel that was there, not what was meant to be shown to you. If you get my drift.
What was meant to be shown to me was a glamour like that.
Yeah.
So I can see through glamours.
Not so much that you can see through glamours, but you could see, like, for a moment, you could see the truth of what was.
Truth, god damn. Okay. Yeah. And okay.
You know that truth is very much a factor or a big part of the fabric of the spirit realm. The spirit realm is like all the echoes of everything that is, that was remembered to be. Like, it is the spirits of this place, and they are spirits in the kind of Japanese sense of like a presence that has formed over time, that is being given kind of power over time. Like Ashman's god did not start as a god. Ashman's god started as the whispers we leave behind in the telephone wire. It started as echoes of life, and life is magic. And the spirit realm shows how kind of, you know, you've had experiences before, you've walked through it. It shows how terrible and incredible and wild and crazy London can kind of look like as it appears truly to be. And you spent your time in the spirit realm, obviously with your sister, looking after your sister who's kind of in stasis in that place. But no one else you've ever known has ever been able to do that.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
Sammy doesn't take other people with him, as far as you know. Like, you spend money, like, you don't go there for free. Like, you pay Sammy and toothpaste and shit. But like,
so you're telling me if I really wanted, it's possible I could transition between the spirit world and the physical realm.
I want you to.
Can I try? Oh, that's okay. This is related to what I wanted to do.
So, I'm going to say this. You tell me what magic you are using, what spell you're planning to use to like help with this, or if there is anything you think you can kind of do to assist with this. And then I will let you, if you can give me a spell that does it, I'll let you make a roll for the spell.
Does it have to be a spell that is currently in my spell slots?
What's the spell?
Okay. Basically, I kind of want to do like a super version of guidance, but on myself.
If you're willing to expend a 4th level spell slot, then
yes,
I'm going to say I'll let you roll this with your spell attack modifier, so a +6
Okay.
to the roll.
Okay. +6 to
I
the
just want
roll.
you to roll a d20 with a +6 to the roll.
Okay. I can do this. It's fine. Do you want me to describe the mechanics of what I want to do first?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Okay. So, the idea is that, I mean, you mentioned like a sea glass aquarium, and that's instantly put Ratus in the mind of having visited like Brighton SeaWorld as a child, and there's a tunnel there. There's a tunnel, and you've got like stingrays and fish and turtles. And when Ratus saw that, Ratus was absolutely like mesmerized, put his hand on the glass and almost like felt like he could touch the sea creatures. That's how close they were. And if he just tried, he could push his hand through that glass and actually touch them. So Ratus is currently falling deeper and deeper into that sort of mindset.
I mean, for a description like that, you got to get inspiration. That's
Yeah.
worth inspiration. I will give you
Yeah.
inspiration on this. It's
Yeah.
+6 to the roll. If you
Yeah.
need it, you got that advantage.
Okay, and also with a cantrip, I'm imagining there's some sort of like chant involved. I'm just like, I in my head, it's like almost like saying Om, but like, what's the halal version of that? I don't know. I can't think of a chant that I do, and honestly, I feel kind of weird chanting.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'd say. Do you have any suggestions?
I'm Wagamama.
Oh shit! I'm doing that. You know what? For now, that's what I'm going with. Like, I've got chips in my mind. I've got Brighton in my mind, and instantly the word Wagamama just comes to my mind. And I'm back there. I've got my hand on the glass, and little kid me is saying Wagamama, 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 and like pushing his hand against the glass and trying to get to that other side right now. So that is the mechanics of the guidance spell, right? Now I'm going to roll the d20, and you said it's to the +6, right?
Yeah.
Does the inspiration add anything on top?
The inspiration is a free reroll.
Okay. I need the free reroll.
So you can do a free reroll to get this with advantage. Okay. 16, I will say, is enough for you to. You just feel that like you're there. You are tiny little Ratus pushing against that aquarium kind of glass. And then you just feel yourself pass through it. And it's almost like smoke moves around. And for a second, you even glimpse tiny Ratus in the aquarium, hand up to the glass, as it passes through you. And suddenly, you are in the world that you kind of waveringly saw for a moment on the other side of Chips as you kind of looked through Chips. And you notice that in the distance, far off in the distance, glowing like a lighthouse, and you feel a sudden connection, and you know that that is your body. And then what is out here is like something separate. And then you feel your body kind of snap to you of like, I am fully in this place now. And you know the feeling instantly that you are in the spirit realm. As you kind of look off into the distance, you feel like a presence that smells of garbage and very faintly of spearmint toothpaste. You can kind of sense like a kind of familiar, like almost like suit energy is the closest thing I can say to it. And I think
energy.
And I think with your passive insight, it's enough to kind of be like, that feels like Vikram. That feels right.
Yeah.
And sort of close by to you, you can kind of just see that there is like a giant sort of 20-foot high kind of Angel of the North statue, but just wreathed in like blue electric flames kind of
Wow.
nestling itself surrounding Johnny's body, which is off to the side.
Interesting.
You see that hovering above your good friend Free is like a thundercloud. As you kind of look out, you see that the dog that you brought with you is 20 feet tall
Oh,
and black as midnight and has eyes of
yes.
fire and leaves
Yes.
flaming footprints wherever it treads as it kind of curls protectively around where your friends are sleeping.
Oh.
And you sense a familiar presence as you see kind of for a second like a shadow uh, in your hands. You're the ones holding all the pieces of Our Lady. Um, you see a shadow before you, like a glimmer, just for an instant, of a woman kind of looking like longingly, I guess, at the dog, sort of standing next to you. Um, and as you meet her eyes, you don't remember anything about her except that you felt warm and safe and protected and like in the city you could never be alone. You're
God.
always part of London by just kind of being in London.
You don't know how much I actually needed to hear
And
that, by
even
the way.
when you leave, like you take that kind of piece of the city with you, and it
Hell
becomes,
yeah.
like you are never going to be anything other than a Londoner, even if you live there for like 6 months. You
Yeah.
know, and I feel like this was very much the right moment to give that description, but you very much sense the presence, obviously, of Our Lady at 4 a.m. And you
Yeah.
sense also just a very faint hint of spices. And for just a second, you see, roll a perception check.
16.
For just a second, you see a brief
Yeah.
glimpse of like orangey yellow and a smell of spices.
Orange, yellow, and the smell spices. Oh, my sister, is it?
Not your sister.
It's not my sister.
Doesn't feel like your sister, but you do sense off into the distance, and that you could head there if you wish to. There is like a warm kind of family connection. And as you turn to look, you see what Chips is for the first
Oh,
time.
how many eyes do they have?
You see Chips is still wearing like a big scruffy coat, still wearing all these layers and all these scarves, but kind of like strapped around the head is like an old kind of like shepherd's bonnet, and it's all like fucked up and like torn up and covered in graffiti and shit.
Okay.
And you see that
What
Chips
does the
is
shepherd?
wearing like massive boots, and that they are holding in their like hand two things. They're holding on one side is like it looks like a essentially it looks like a lantern, but it's also instead of a fire just got like a phone with its torch on. You know, like one of those like old fashioned lanterns. Uh,
Yes.
and you see
Yes.
that in the other hand is like a kind of big, like those concrete kind of rebar steel rods. You
Mm-hmm.
see one of those, and it's like curled into like a shepherd's crook.
Yeah.
Um, and you instantly know that Chips is an extremely powerful Circle the Shepherd
Is
druid.
is Chips Jesus?
Chips is not Jesus, but Chips is like, and this is also another thing that kind of clicks in is suddenly going, oh, Chips is very much like the similar wavelength to the power that I hold, but it's a different thing. Like Chips
Mm-hmm.
is very much a Circle the Shepherd druid, you know.
Okay.
like a druid of the city. That's how Chips gets their power. And you realize as well, I think, instantly that the Beggar King does not bestow power upon Chips. Chips is just that strong and
Wow.
happens to work for the Beggar King. Like, like Chips has always been a badass. It's just that Chips at one point decided to stop doing whatever they were doing and work for the Beggar King.
Yeah.
And just kind of in the kind of shadow underneath all of that like pile of clothes, I think for just a second you see like just sort of a flash, I guess, of like a uniform, like some kind of uniform that is kind of buried under all those clothes.
Can I tell what kind of? Can I roll an insight?
Yes.
I want to
I
recognize the style of uniform.
okay. I'm gonna say it's less insight and it's more kind of like a raw. It's going to be a raw intelligence check.
Okay, I did pump my intelligence, so I should have slightly better.
So I think it would just be a +2 to
Yeah.
your to the roll.
Ah, come on, 6.
You don't quite make it out, but there's something else in kind of like Chips' past almost, and then they have become this like thing for the Beggar King, but you just sense like rolling power, like coming off of Chips in sort of waves. And I think you just kind of suddenly feel very like at one, and also you see that next to you this entire time has been someone smoking cheap roll-ups, and just kind of watching over you, always with you really, is the Beggar King. Fingers, gloves, just the Beggar King looks exactly the same here as the Beggar King looks outside. It just looks like an older kind of dude that's been on the street for a while, smoking these
Yeah.
like fucking awful roll ups, wearing like this big old like ragged kind of woolen coat. A woolen coat that looks really familiar to the one that you kind of hold, like almost similar, like it was modeled on the same kind of thing.
Can I speak to the Beggar King? I would like to try.
What?
Yeah. Um. So you and the lady of 4 a.m. Are you family or is it something else?
Well, you know, same portfolios, isn't it, really?
Mm-hmm.
I've looked after the left behind since the first person who ever got turfed out of their home. So she watches over those who walk alone in the night. So it's a lot of overlap there.
Guess so. Makes sense. We're gonna bring her back, yeah?
Well, that'd be good, because thing is, I don't really keep the bad stuff out. Just look after my own. Not really a protector, so to speak. Just make sure mine do all right, and I comfort them when the time comes. But she's what kept the bad stuff out,
She's the good one, isn't she?
and she weren't always so kind, neither.
Oh, bad.
Our Lady started in blood, son.
Has she ever returned to that?
No, but she split her nature and put half of it inside of something else. There's a good bit of her what walks through the night with a lantern to guide them that is lost and let them know that they are not alone. that she will walk beside them. And he looks over towards that giant dog, kind of curled around your friends. And she put a part of herself to keep the bad things out inside of that.
Damn! Are you telling me that dog is half a deity?
In a manner of speaking, yeah. Only the other half's been sealed, and dog don't do the thinking or the understanding. Dog is, and he will remove dangers he finds. But he ain't too smart.
Is he a loyal one? Is dog loyal?
To her, always.
Always. Okay, good. So long as we stand with Our Lady, will dog help us?
Can't do anything else. What he was created to do. Protect her and destroy her. But he is the blood that she came from. Many used to offer sacrifices to Our Lady.
I think we might have to wrap up this bit soon because okay, cool. I turn to the Burger King and I say, we will finish what we started. And I ask if I can enter the spirit world, can I take someone out of it with me?
They say in the old days that if you were to offer Our Lady blood, then she might grant your wishes for safety or anything else that you might want.
Do you get any specifics on the amount, type of blood, mosquito?
One life offered willingly.
Whoa, one life.
Offered willingly.
Oh, come on. Okay.
But if you were to bring her back, perhaps she would be more generous than she was known to be in the past.
Does she grant boons?
In the old days, when there was blood, she granted many boons.
I think Our Lady and I are going to have to...
He just looks up and goes, "Run, Riot, he's coming." And you see the whole sky begin to turn red once again. And you are back in your body, waking up, asleep.
Oh.
You instantly level up.
Yes!
I'm going to sort the feat for you. But you get two things. Once per day, you can cast the blink spell without any material components, and blink between this world and the spirit world.
Nice.
Which means that basically once per day you can move from this realm to the spirit world. We'll see how accurate you can be depending on some rolls and stuff, but it's like a very powerful combat and move as well. There is an actual spell in the game called Blink that this is modelled on. The other thing is you get 1 free access per day to the spell True Sight. And if you're not already there, you are now level 9 as a druid.
I am level 9 now. Yeah, I just turned level 9.
You are now level 10.
No. I just changed it to level 9.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're now level 9, and you've got I'll do you a custom feat essentially to give you the stuff. But you are essentially.
It doesn't look like I've got options to add anything else to my.
No, but you also know that you have become a shaman.
A shaman. Let me put that in my notes.
You will find out more about what that's about in the future, but that's something that you kind of know instantly is the name for what you just experienced. That kind of moving into the spirit world.
I need to add this before.
So
I
you'll get
forget.
some extra bonuses from that kind of as things progress, possibly. But yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Story choices.
Wow, man, that was good. That was fun. Alright.
Yeah.
I thought
See,
that
it's
should
not always traumatizing. Sometimes I'm just nice.
it's a lot though. I'm meeting gods and I'm becoming a shaman and I'm going to Brighton to SeaWorld, you know.
I feel
It
like
just
I definitely that was a little bit of therapy there.
not gonna lie, that was one of the best moments. I think it was 2020 that I first went there and it was literally life changing seeing those creatures.
That was such a beautiful moment.
Honestly,
How could I
honestly.
not give inspiration for such a wonderful
Oh yeah.
description?
As soon as you said like I had my hand on the glass and shit, I was like, yo, this is exactly like SeaWorld. What the fuck? But yeah, I loved it. All right, I'm just gonna add the information to my notes because I don't trust myself to remember this shit anymore. I need to actually look up my own backstory.